back with another video, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, follow, turn on the post notifications wherever y'all watching this from. Check out the Patreon. We are going to be talking about the Akashic Records, right? What the Akashic Records truly is, where it is, how to access it, what it feels like inside of your body and out of your body, stuff like that, right? Make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, and let's get into it. So, I had talked about the Akashic Records before, but thing is, even though I had mad intuitions coming in at that time, I didn't have the full explanation. I would kind of like explain what it is and stuff, but not the like I would say it in a way like how TikTok and stuff would, you know what I'm saying? But thing is, right? This is just kind of a remake, and thing is, the Akashic Records is literally just the field of information within your mind, right? Now, it's not just the information in your mind, it can also be the information all around you, right? Because everything also has Akashic matter. So technically, it's really just the information of everything, but you can mainly interpret this information when you're tapped in with your mind, and also tapped in with the higher parts of yourself, right? Because you can still get information from the lower parts of yourself, but it will be distorted, not really, helpful, stuff like that. So yeah, but so let's just talk about this, right? People say the Akashic Records is, uh, they say it's the records to everything that's happened inside of the universe, which that's kind of true, right? Because some people have gotten out their body and have seen hallways of information that's like inside in the Milky Way. Not, I would say like outside or inside of space, whichever one you want to say it as. Or it's just like outside time and space, and it's just a bunch of hallways, right? Or it can be like a full-on library. But that's not what the Akashic Records is. It can be interpreted like that, right? And there are beings that obviously look at the Akashic Records and actually experience the Akashic Records as that. But in its truest form, it's just not that, right? There is Akashic teachings, and it can be Akashic hallways, but there's also Akashic records about your soul records, about basically just everything, you know what I'm saying? Basically just everything that's inside of time and space. And your soul is inside time and space, so it's going to have records of those too, right? Which you can access via the soul. So, yeah. Now, when you are in the lower parts of the Akashic plane, you may start like thinking a lot, but it's just stuff that's just distorted truth, fear, trauma, doubt, confusion, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to help you. But when you're in the higher parts of the Akashic field, you start actually getting the information from the higher planes that's actually more involved with eternal truth and divine truth, and what else? Higher astral truth, and just basically on a higher frequency overall, right? And this is why you're able to feel energy in different ways. Because if you was to just feel um, pure energy with no information inside of it, you would feel the energy, but you wouldn't know how to like direct it, and you would just kind of like let the energy just be, right? You wouldn't even waste it on none of that, like for real. So come on, why are you doing that? Let me make a video, man. Come on. But it's like, yeah, when you access the higher parts of the Akashic Records, you can also start accessing information about your soul or other people's souls and their journeys. You can start accessing literally everything. You can start accessing answers about stuff you may need inside of the physical, about stuff you may need out of your body, about stuff you may need spiritually, energetically, mentally, stuff like that, right? So, yeah, but the real universal records to all of life is just the universal records, right? Or the omniversal records, which the universal records is just records within the universe, kind of just within physical reality and stuff that's involved with physical reality. But when it's like, can you shut up, bro? I ain't gonna cap. That's annoying. Um, but it's like when see she making me forget, bro. Hold on, bro. This cat was trying to mess up the video like crazy, bro. But yeah, when you access the higher, when you this is why you're able to feel energy in different ways, negative and positive energy, because everything has some type of information to it, right? If it had no information, everything would kind of just be, it would basically be a soul without a spirit. It would just be a soul without an intelligence. You see what I'm saying? So everything has information. If it had no information, it would kind of just be, and we wouldn't gain any energetic sensory or information about it. Like it would be energetic sensory, but it would just kind of be like a pure object, right? And you can see everything in its purest form. Like even a whole like fork or a fly, you can literally see that in its purest form while it still looks like a fly because you're seeing the pure energy inside of it that still has no information inside of it, right? If everything had information inside of it, there would be no room to manifest everything. This is why everything inside of time and space at least has information, but even then, that's just on a visual standpoint, right? Because it's like pure energy. You can see it, but that's if you like are open to see it. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that is that. What else, bro? You can access the see. I was accessing the Akashic records like crazy. I wanted to access the Akashic records while out of my body, which I'm gonna have to like note some stuff down on what I gotta do out of my body because I wanted to fight demons, go to the Akashic records, all that other type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I still have a bunch of intuitions that I've gained from the Akashic records without actually getting out my body to go there. And it's a lot about reincarnation and incarnation, how death works, about stuff that will happen in the future, um, higher truths of divine wisdom and willpower and intelligence and stuff like that. So, yeah, even though that's a short video, that's really all the Akashic Records is. It's just a field of information. Um, and everything has information. But if you want to access the information of the entire of reality itself, you have to basically go to the omniversal records, right? Because the omniverse is basically it's basically when you just stop separating all the universes from one in all the planes. Because really, all the planes like 4D, 5D, 6D, 1D, 2D, 12D, 11D, they're, even though they're counted as separated planes, that's because that's what we were able to analyze separately. They're still all one and they still interact in our daily and physical life. Like, our physical reality still interacts with 5D and 6D and 4D and 7D, even though it looks like just the 3D. You see what I'm saying? It's not the 3D. So, yeah, and tapping in more with the Akashic Records helps you to be able to actually see things for what it truly is because you're actually tapping in with the information inside of everything, bro. So you're like, even though your soul already understands most of the information, once you tap in more with the information, you kind of just gain a whole understanding, bro. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, you can literally just do that by just tapping in with the informational field. You know what I'm saying? You don't even got to do some crazy rituals and all that other type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but that's pretty much it about the Akashic Records. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, and we'll see you guys later.